Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. I hope you enjoy, so let's get started. A lot of the highway billboards around Seattle still use 175 watt mercury vapor sign lights. Hello everybody and welcome to Spokane, Washington. This week, well, 3-4 days out of the week here, I'm going to be at this hotel here. I'm over here for business, work, and whatnot. But anyway, I thought, let's go ahead and take a look at this room because why not? We're here. Never heard of this place. Thought we'd stay here. It had a decent decent reviews, not just one review. I mean, it does have a decent view outside too. We'll take a look at that. Anyway, putting my words together today is something because to start this day, we had a crazy one. I left at about 10:30 from Seattle and started going up the I-90 pass and eventually got to the top and over to the other side and stopped. We were stopped going 3 miles an hour or completely stopped for 3 hours, just sitting there going nowhere. I was kind of going crazy, to be honest, but I called my parents, called some of the guys that had questions and things, and that made the time move along a little bit. Anyway, after waiting 3 hours, we get to the end and, well, there's a mangled semi in the middle of the median between the two highways, east and westbound, and it is just mangled. It looks like there must have been another one right in the middle of the two lanes going eastbound because it was totally charred and burnt in the middle of the highway. Anyway, we finally got past that. I don't remember what time it was, but it's about, what is it now? 7 o'clock. Here in Spokane now, so we started our journey at about 10:30 and we're finally here at 7 o'clock at night. Wonderful, The GPS, or wonderful Google Maps, was going to have me do Highway 2 through that pass, and then it decided, oh no, go back down and go around to I-90 because somehow that cleared up within that amount of time. It didn't. Should have went the other way, would have been here a lot sooner, even though that said it was going to take longer. There goes Google Maps and Apple Maps. What a waste of time. Anyway, we're here, and I'm happy to be here. A little bit of something different. The last week, like literally yesterday morning, I dropped my friends off at the airport, and the wonderful time we had with them. So that was awesome, and now we're on to another adventure. So let's go ahead and take a look at this room and see what we get into. We are staying at the Ruby River Hotel right on the river here in Spokane. As you can see, we're in the number 2 building. They have a couple different numbered buildings here, and we're in 222, the room here, obviously, as it has stated on this map. Anyway, here is the front door. Pretty standard stuff. I would say that these switches were a little confusing for me when I'm walking in. It's dark in here, but now that I see how they work, totally fine. But you're looking for a standard light switch and then you find a dimmer and you're like, oh, okay, now we're getting fancy. Okay, well, if we turn this way, we're gonna find myself in the mirror. Isn't that just something fun? But we got a big mirror here. It's an old sliding glass door mirror thing for the closet. As you can see, we do have an ironing board. That looks like it says a hair dryer. We have a curtain, hanger, rod, and some curtains, and then a luggage rack holder. And then we'll come into the room here. Let me do a wide angle shot and you can get an idea of the room. This is a single king bedroom. The bed looks bigger than a king. Maybe it's a California king or something, but it looks bigger than king. We do have the pretty standard door here to the side where you can open to the conjoining room if you so desire. You got 2 rooms together. And yeah, I guess we'll just start over here. So, of course, we have our trash can, and then we have our fancy little kind of console thing going on here. Inside, we do have a refrigerator. That is very nice. Oh, there's waters in there. I wonder how much they are just to use them. Does it say on there? Welcome to the Pacific Northwest. I wonder what it says. I wonder what it says. I wonder how much it is. So we're just going to leave it be. Because I don't want to find out. But they've got a little tiny fridge. And here we have a little microwave. No light for the microwave. These small ones usually don't. Have anything on the bottom shelf? No. No, that's just one shelf on the one side. Okay, moving on up here. We have the Ruby River Hotel. You get your little pad of paper. Oh, of course, every hotel has to have a pen. And experience card, maintenance request. Hey, that's nice. And then you can scan this QR code, I guess, right here on the river. We're definitely going to check that out. Look at this giant remote. In a way, I kind of like it because it's easy to figure out at hotels like this where it's always something different. So that's kind of nice. Obviously, we have a TV here. Looks like it says LG Nano Cell, whatever kind of technology that panel is. I don't see any box on the back, so I wonder if it's integrated into the TV, this remote thing. Okay, so we have a little place to sit down here. We got our telephone with our room number on it. And of course, so we got a little coffee maker and some coffees and stuff. Got an outlet with USB, that is always nice. Our little ice bucket with a little baggie and our 2 cups. Pretty standard affair. We got some drawers here that just pull out. Nothing too crazy there. Nothing in them. Of course, we have our chair. Got to have a chair, you know. Pretty standard chair. Not a fancy office chair, but I understand why they did it. It's a skinny room, you know. There's not really a big space to put a office chair like that, and that's really totally fine. And we have our AC heating unit here on the wall. This one actually you can use the dials on to change it versus having some weird thermostat somewhere random in the room. Another interesting thing is they have all these quotes all over the walls. Well, at least there's 2, but here's one. And of course our AC unit. Okay, so we've made it to the window here. You can kind of see we're in the corner of the building, so we kind of get a hallway that connects the 2 and 1 buildings. It's only a 2-story property. But if you look outside here, you can see the river. Ain't that something? If it would focus on it, there we go. That'll be cool to walk along one of these evenings. Maybe I'll even do a little bit of it tonight. But that's our little river walk. That's pretty cool. I think that's the main draw of this hotel because, boy, is the parking lot busy. So that's what we have out the window. Nothing too crazy. I'm not too worried about it. Looks like, I was going to say, it looks like there's a balcony here, but no, it's just a cover to cover up the AC unit. And of course we have our rafters and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So there's our window. Moving on over, we have this giant chair here that you can sit in. If I don't do the wide angle, you can see it really is a big chair compared to the backpack here. And that's kind of nice. A little low, I'd think, for some people, but it's totally fine for me. I don't care. But it's nice that they have a fancy chair of some kind. And then, of course, we have our clock here. It's got USB on the top. We got USB here and 2 outlets. I've seen these types of plugs at the store. I always thought they were odd, just the way that they're shaped. And we got the switch here to control our wonderful LED bulb. Everybody's got to have an LED bulb, you know. And, yeah, that's our clock. Pretty simple there. And we got our drawer here. And if we take a look at our bed, there's our bed. And it is, oh, we do have a bottom thing there. Okay. I was wondering if it was hollow underneath, but it's not. I mean, it probably is underneath that, but I thought completely underneath. Okay, let's see here. No smoking, that's fine. I don't want to. And our another drawer. And our outlet situation here. A lot of USB. Now they need to upgrade to USB-C. And of course our LED bulb. Everybody's got to have an LED bulb, you know. Everybody's favorite. So if we look above the bed again, we have another one of these quotes. And then we have some pictures. They have these pictures on the outside of the building too. Just some high resolution black and white images, kind of classic-y looking. Pretty neat stuff. It kind of gives it a higher end feel, and you certainly get that feel as soon as you walk in the building, really. Okay, so I suppose tomorrow I'll tell you all about this bed once I finally rest in it. But for right now, that's our main room. I guess, of course, we need to point out lighting. Always got to have lighting. So let me go on a little rant here. Why do we have little puck light LEDs? Boy, they're bright as can be. Why can't we have like little can lights with LED bulbs in them? Some replaceable. Okay, so it apparently is dimmable. That one just turns off. I didn't dim that. Yeah, sure enough, it's dimmable. That's as far as it dims. That's all the way down. Let me feel this here. Oh yeah, they're flush with the ceiling. Yeah, this has to have been added, obviously. I mean, it's a simple idea. You know, it gets the job done without having to have lamps over here, but I'd much prefer to have a lamp, really. But it's a neat idea. I mean, it's an idea. And then we have this one here. It's also dimmable. That's as dim as it goes. Yeah, not very dim if you ask me. Okay, enough ranting about these LED lights that are super boring. Let's take a look at another super boring light in the bathroom. So if we take a look at the bathroom here, it's a pretty small bathroom, but you know, back in the day, I'm sure when this hotel originally was built, this was a pretty standard size. So it's small, you know, but hey, it gets the job done. They got a nice countertop here. I've already used their little bar soap, and they got brand name stuff here too. You know, it's not just some random generic thing. It's brand name stuff. They got some wipes, and then they got a mirror here. One thing I was looking for when I first came in here with the towel is there's nowhere to hang the darn towel right here. I mean, you could use this, but why not put something here so you can hang the towel? Anyway, in the corner, we have some tissues and more cups, and our toilet paper with another one behind it, and our trash can with an extra trash bag. Isn't that nice? Here's our toilet. It's kind of an interesting one. It's got the little and big flush options. So let's see what we got here. It's got a plastic seat on it, and it's really deep. Like, it's almost to the ground deep. Such an interesting design. I don't know if that's so it doesn't clog as much. I don't know. It's just odd. Okay, so we got our tiny door that is totally not ADA compliant. And we still have this in wide angle mode. Here's our shower. So again, totally an older hotel that somebody has put a lot of money into, because we obviously have a rain shower head here. And it does look nice, but I mean, I'm sure they should have a maintenance plan or something for getting rid of the oxidation buildup and things like that, hard water buildup and whatnot on the shower head. Either way, I mean, all this is clean and nice. The shower pan is clean. So is the knob, and you know, that's just like hard water deposits or something. Of course, we have our shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. That's nice. The shampoo and body wash look like the same color, so maybe they're the same thing. But at least they have that here, because I certainly don't. And then, of course, we have our heat lamp here. It's a Braun exhaust fan and heat lamp. It looks like it's a Phillips bulb, and it's all on the same switch. So you get heat lamp and fan all in one. Of course, it'd be nice if they were separate. But there is our wonderful bathroom. Yeah, there's our little bathroom. Door just barely makes it. Isn't this just exciting? They got really nice big labels everywhere. I really do like that. Can't miss it. And there's that little hallway thing. Here's our door right here. Tapless key cards, that's nice versus the strip. So all these buildings are connected. I want to say there's like 6 or 7 of them. There's outside. And then over here, we have the walkway. And of course, there's our window. Yeah, it just covers up the AC units. Interesting. What a simple globe light in the hallway here in the stairwell. I do like that, actually. There's the outside of the hotel. As you can see, it has those black and white pictures on the outside there. Well, at least they're on the first building. It looks like they got more random words and stuff over there on number 4. But yeah, that's the building there. It has a restaurant called the Osprey or something at the end. So there's not a continental breakfast. You have to purchase it there, and they explicitly tell you that, but it's not the end of the world, because we're going to go across this abandoned parking lot here. I wonder what this used to be. Definitely an interesting store design. I don't know, it kind of gives me like Office Depot or Office Max vibes or something like that. Now it's called Van Gogh the Immersive Experience. Looks like that's going really well. Yeah, okay then. Yeah, I don't know, Office Depot or Office Max, something like that is what this tells me. But we're going over here to get some Wendy's. I do understand I could have just drove, but I've been sitting in that car for so long, I'm done, man. So we're just gonna walk over here, and I'm sure the traffic light will change, and I can just run across this road pretty quick. Seems to be a one-way street, so we'll have to see. Maybe there's a crosswalk somewhere. Either way, our destination is right over here. Most certainly a very busy place. Gotta love stuff like this, old pictures of World's Fairs. That's pretty cool. But we got what we were looking for. We got a burger and this big lemonade because that sounds good right now. And now we gotta go back across the street, across this really busy road. Isn't that fun? On our way back here, let's take a look at these lights. Looks like we got some metal halide going on here because it'll totally focus on that. There we go. A whole lot of burned out, a whole lot of not on, and another metal halide. Isn't that something? Looks like in the parking lot here, they've did LEDs with everything. And of course the wall packs too. Doing a lot better now. We got something to eat. We got the computer all connected to the internet and whatnot. And here's a little map of the place. So you can kind of see where we are, I suppose. Certainly got a nice little walking trail back here. Comes right along, and here's the back side of the #1 building. Of course, we're up there in that corner window. But yeah, this is pretty nice. That's pretty cool. Right along the river here. Looks like we got something over there. Looks like some type of fancy LED lights. I can't really make out a bulb inside of them, but everything else here is LED, so really makes sense. Boy, this is done up nice. Look at the lighting under the seats there and stuff. That's awesome. I love landscape lighting. They got some like hot tubs and stuff. Not too bad. It's lit up nicely well too. Those are some interesting post top fixtures, triangles and stuff. And then we go over here. Let's see what's up on the high part. See here they got a little seating area with a tree that is no longer. Very nice. I thought it was going to drop right off, but no, it's a pretty gradual thing down. I mean, that kind of drops right off, but... And it looks like the lights are just put in by the hotel here, because if we look further down, it looks like the lights change again. Yeah, those don't look... In fact, they kind of look mercury vapor or metal halide-y to me. If you can see there, it's kind of got that greenish hue to it. Over here, it looks like they just have an outdoor recreational area for kids and stuff. I'll have to walk along this one of the evenings, but I'm tired after the day of driving. Looks to me like it was a rude lighting fixture, and they just, oops, I almost dropped my phone there. Looks like it's converted to LED now. Yep, yeah, that's a big LED bulb, all right. Boy, they got stuff everywhere. They got some vending down there. Still like these really big signs. That's super handy. More vending here. Walk down the hall more and you find more vending. Let's see what they got for prices for things. $1.75 for a bag of chips. I don't know if that's good or not. I love when places put in like Costco brand stuff. That is so funny. What is that? Did somebody make those little gummy things or what? Thought I'd stop and try this Houston, Texas hot chicken thing. Never really heard of that. It looks like they have a location in Seattle too, but of course all these chicken places are going everywhere. But anyway, it seems pretty good. Got the strawberry lemonade. Always got to try that. It's frozen or whatever. But I think their lighting is pretty cool inside. They got a whole bunch of different vintage things, and the countertop lights up. But being out here, at least I don't have to worry about copyright on the music inside. We're back in the hotel room again after our little adventure of going and getting the chicken for this evening and stopping and filling up the car because it needed it. Anyway, let's see what's in here. We have our wonderful Menards bag here, and inside we will find our box of chicken. So, I decided to go with their house special classic something or another, which was a chicken sandwich and a chicken tender. And I went with their mild sauce here. So they really have some, catchy images here on the front. Some real, get the modern era kids into the building. And boy, it was filled with some very young people. So, it's a very hip and now establishment, that's for sure. So let's see what we got inside. Okay, so we do have a sandwich here and a single chicken tender and some fries, and that must be our mild sauce. Let's see what we got here. Got some coleslaw on the burger. Well, it's not a burger, it's a chicken sandwich. But that's what we got. And then, of course, as you saw, I got this strawberry frozen lemonade. This is really good. I really like that. So we're going to go ahead and take these and sit down at the computer. No, I'm no professional food reviewer, but I know food, and, you know, I like food, and yeah, okay, anyway. So the sandwich was really good. I did enjoy that very much. It was messy, just like any other type of sandwich you would have had that, you know, is that design of chicken and sauce and coleslaw and all that. But it was good. The chicken strip here is good, and I'm going to give a try to whatever this is, if this is our mild sauce. Yeah, it's mild. There's not much to it there. There's not much spice to that. One step up from that is buffalo. But we have our little tender here. I'm going to try that in there. The fries are seasoned really nicely. They have this kind of nice seasoning on it there. That's pretty good, so I'm happy with it. So I stand corrected. This is like a fry sauce. And the heat really comes from like a dry rub that they put on everything. I thought it was the sauce that was on it, because I just couldn't really tell. But it's most certainly the dry rub powder that they put on both the fries and that tender, because you can really taste it if you don't put any of that on there. I think it's time to explore a little bit outside. So the other night, I noted that there were some lights along this path that looked like they might be mercury vapor or metal halide or something. And of course it's not dark enough yet for them to turn on, but this is what's on the path here. First thing that comes to my mind is some GE Town and Country, I think they called these things. But it could be a whole nother brand too. I'm not that good at these post tops. I'm guessing the whole university grounds has a bunch of these. Boy, I haven't walked around or by a college campus since college. It's been a minute. Oh no, guys, we found a day burner. It really does look metal halide-y. I was gonna say mercury vapor, but it's a little too pure white for mercury vapor. Metal halide, oh, and you know what? No, it's probably been corn cobbed with an LED. I don't know. What do you think? I thought it was mercury vapor from far away. And then my second idea was metal halide, but I don't know. Could be corn cob LED. It's a little pinpoint, or two rings of light. It's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, we got a day burner. Apparently that's not the only day burner, because we got another one right here. I felt the other night that these were giving off a different light color vibe, but I don't know. They're also very quiet, so I don't know if like the ballast is gone or if it really is LED. But if you look down here, this one is a lot dimmer. Let's go over there. That's a lot of metal halide stadium lights. Wow. Okay, this one certainly gives off mercury vapor vibes. It's a little bit dimmer than the others. Certainly not as bright. Maybe I'm just at the wrong angle because it's really bright right here. I don't know, maybe they were all converted. Would have been cool if they were mercury vapor though. I know, I'm really analyzing this. Interesting with its big metal halide friends up high. In fact, all these lights on this side of the campus are day burning. They really do look like they're just corn cobbed. That's too bad. Yeah, they most certainly have all been converted because these are certainly not original metal halide. You can even see the LED conversion things they put in there. These little tiny circular puck things. Yeah, that's most certainly not metal halide. How funny, it appears we have another university on the other side here. So let's see what they have going on for lighting. And it looks like we also have a corn cob LED in there. As you can see, we can zoom in. There's our corn cob LED in the center of the screen. Wonder what it used to be back in the day. I'm sure they are all like that. Interesting. There's the hotel on the other side. Probably can't see it because the sun's so bright. Got a lot of fancy homes over here. They're all taken care of pretty nicely. Funny, we walk around all these homes and we're back to the university again. This time with more corncob LED converted lights. You can kind of see it in there. It's the same situation as the other ones we took a look at a little bit ago. So nothing too crazy there, but we will continue on. Here's a generic shoebox thing. It's also got an LED in it. It's really hard to see with the sun, but it looks like now we just got a bunch of these, because you always got to have a generic shoebox fixture. Goodness, how many different colleges are there in like this one little blip of an area? This is crazy. This is like the third one. Yeah, LED. Interesting. Okay, so here's the Spokane Convention Center. And again, we got some different lights going on here on this section of the path. So naturally, you know, we got to figure out what's going on here, right? So let's see what we got here. I'm gonna guess more corn cob. Oh yeah, that's what it is. As you can see up in there, more corn cob LED. Well, you know, the positive thing about that is at least they're keeping, you know, the beautiful fixtures versus the really boring flat LEDs of today. Boy, this convention center certainly is something else. Even got an old hotel next to it. I mean, it's probably not that old, but it looks kind of a little older. But I like the architecture here. This is really cool. Really cool architecture they got going on. Of course, we're trying to work our way over here to the World's Fair grounds, but this is just along the way. Neat. Love the old lights along the tops of the windows. That's cool. Boy, we just got really unique buildings here. Lots of stuff going on for this property. That's pretty neat. Take a look at that. That's really cool. There you can see Spokane's kind of globe-like fixtures. 400-watt metal halide, I do believe. This bridge certainly is interesting. I wonder if these all were lights at one point. Let's see. There's something in there. Can't tell what it is, but there's certainly a bulb in there. Yeah, there's a bulb, but none of them work. Here's just a quick view of the whole bridge before we go across it to the, well, World's Fair grounds. They definitely still have incandescents in them. You can see one in there. And this one, you can see the heat reflector in it, so that's interesting. Yeah, still incandescent bulbs in there. This one looks like it has wires hanging out. Maybe there's a ballast or something. But you can most certainly see the socket up in there. Medium base socket. Yeah, see the incandescent in there? Let's see if we can brighten it up. Oh boy, that didn't work out right. But yeah, you can see the old incandescent. Pretty cool lights. I'm guessing none of them work because they got these acorn lights. Well, one of them works anyway. I really do hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Leave a like down below and a comment. I do enjoy reading all of your comments. Of course, check out the other videos here on the screen. And until next time, thank you very much for watching.